Hi everyone, Dr. Suneel Dhand. When one door closes, another one opens. That is the message of this video. And it's especially important for any younger person to understand. Perhaps those of you listening, if you know any younger person in your life who would benefit from this message, feel free to share it with them. I remember when I was 17 years old, we were about to do our A-levels. This was in England, and a lot was riding on these A-levels. I had applied to medical school, I had been accepted, but it was all dependent on these results. So it was quite a fair bit of pressure. And I had people in my class who had applied to all sorts of different courses at university. I remember I had an array of friends who were hoping to do different things, become engineers, go into computing, study sciences, all sorts of subjects, but it all hinged on these A-levels. By the way, the United States and Canada are the only two countries in the world where youngsters have to go to college before medical school, which I think is a total waste of time. No other country does that, and I think this reflects why the North American education system is all about trying to extract as much money as possible from young people, prolong courses unnecessarily as long as possible, because no other country does that. But anyway, I go off on a tangent. There I was, 17 years old, trying to get into medical school. I'd already been accepted and I needed to get the grades. And our teacher, Mrs. Boyd, she was our English teacher, got up on the stage, and this was a week or two before we did our A-levels, and she gave an awesome lecture, which I remember to this day. And it was all about how when one door closes in life, another one opens, the concept of sliding doors. And she talked about a movie called Sliding Doors, which actually has a great soundtrack as well by Aqua, but the movie is very thought-provoking. And it is about a lady in London who is running to catch the train one day on the underground system. So there she is, running towards the train, and something gets in her way. I think it might be a young child or a dog, and as a result of that few seconds wasted, when she gets to the train, the door has closed. Then the scene rewinds, and there's nothing standing in her way, and she gets to the train and she manages to squeeze on right before the door closes. And then the movie goes down two parallel stories at the same time. What happens to her when she catches the train versus what happens when she wastes a few seconds and can't get on the train. And her life ends up completely different depending on which one happened. It's actually a very thought-provoking story. And Mrs. Boyd used this to talk about the concept of sliding doors, and how although we were young and we felt under pressure and we knew that we had to achieve certain grades to get into university, that if things didn't work out how we wanted, something else would work out for us in life. And I will never forget that message, because I thought it was important at the time. But over the years, I've realized how important it is to understand this, that you shouldn't pin all your hopes on one thing. Yes, you should try, but if things don't work out, another door will open for you, and maybe that will work out even better. It could be in anything. It could be in your studies, it could be in your career, it could even be in a relationship. But never think that all is lost if you don't get what you want. And this is especially true if we remember the following three things that people should always do to make sure that the door that opens for them is even better than the one that closed. Number one, a commitment to self-improvement. Those people who have things turn out even better for them after the initial opportunity didn't work have a relentless commitment to self-improvement. They want to keep on getting better, they are self-reflective, and they don't think that they know it all. The truth is that there are a lot of people out there who are brutally arrogant. They refuse to accept responsibility, they refuse to learn new things, and as a result, they get stuck on a downward spiral. But those people who don't think that way, who understand that self-improvement is everything, often have things work out much better for them. But it starts with being a reflective person, understanding your weaknesses and where you fall short, and committing that you will get better and better. Number two, putting yourself in the right places all the time. There are a lot of people out there who think that success in life is due to a lot of luck. But that's not true. Luck, of course, may come into it a little bit, but if we look at the very successful people around us, they have consistently put themselves in the right places, so they are ready when great opportunities arise. They don't just sit at home, they get out there, meet new people, get into new groups. They make sure that they are around people who are going to lift them up. As the famous saying goes, life is mostly about showing up. You show up consistently in the right places, something really good is going to work out for you. Number 3, they keep an open mind. They aren't closed off from the world. They're very open to new experiences. They don't think they're above anything, and they are ready when new things, exciting things come their way to seize onto the opportunities. Keeping an open mind is one of the best traits to have in life. Do not be closed off. There are a lot of things that everybody doesn't know. Keep on learning and great things will likely happen to you. So never get too hung up if things don't work out as expected. Of course, you're human. If things don't work out according to plan, you're going to be sad for a little bit. But as long as you're doing all of the right things, something will work out in the end. And I will never forget that lecture from Mrs. Boyd, my English teacher. I was 17 years old and I still remember it all these years later, and I've realized how it's even more true the more years pass. The sliding doors of life. When one door closes, another one opens.